It is once again time for another edition of the Wrestling Guild. It is a Thursday. Nick and Chris here, podcasting on a train again.
As usual now.
Per usual this time. Yeah, we gotta stop meeting like this, Nick.
We really need to, yeah.
Well, how are you doing and stuff like that?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. You know, we're close to summer. We're close to, ending work for some of us as well. We're ending school, just take vacation.
Yeah.
Charge batteries for, next time.
Yes, for the next time. Well, we have been watching. We've been watching Impact Wrestling. This is from a week ago. Now, May 20. What was it? 24th? Am I saying that right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I was pretty happy with this one as well. I thought it was if there was something, it fell a little flat here and there, I thought, but in overall, I think this was a good episode. I think it had a little bit of a dip in ratings, but I think that was more or less because there was other things going on at the same time. I don't think it was
because of the actual episode. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I agree with you. Yeah, there weren't that many stupid stuff. I mean, stuff that we could remove. I think we had some really good matches and we had some really good stuff and content. So yeah, I'm pretty happy.
Yeah. Well, should we jump right into it and see what happens?
Let's jump in.
Yeah. Well, we started off with a recap from DJZ and Andrew Everett, and also talked about the return of Madison Rayne. Setting stuff up for this week's episode is on Thursday, which is going to be Under Pressure, which is kind of like a special event. It is a completely new event. Kind of like they've had Redemption, but it's not going to be like a pay-per-view thing, but it's just going to be like a special, as they call it. And then we started out with OVE versus Aerostar and Drago.
Yeah.
That was surprising. How did you like this?
Yeah, this combo, having Drago and Aerostar against OB, it was quite cool, It was a great match. We had some good back and forth, especially from Aerostar and Sammy. I can't stop. Sammy is a really, really good wrestler. He does it well. And Aerostar, he
Well, you were talking about Drago, right? Drago is a great wrestler because Sammy wasn't there.
Sammy was there.
Was he? Oh, no, yes, that's right, yeah. That's right, he was there. Yeah, that's true. Anyway, so what happens is that Eddie Edwards interrupts and just starts beating the crap out of people. Alicia, his wife, tries to reason with him and stuff like that, but he attacks OVE and he attacks Sami Callihan. Security comes out, restrains him, and he just takes out security as well.
Yeah. He is mad. He is pissed. He wants revenge.
Yes, he does. And the whole thing of it being over, was not so. It's not over.
Yeah. And after the match, his wife, Eddie and his wife are talking, and they're like having an altercation, and she, just like she said at the ring, it's over, move on, but he still wants his payback, and he's like really pissed that Sammy almost like got him blind. Mm-hmm. So this storyline ain't gonna stop.
No, it's not.
So yeah.
Yeah. No. Yeah. That was that. And then we cut to seeing Alicia and Eddie arguing in the back. Do you think? What do you think was going to come of this? What is Alicia and Eddie going to split? Is Alicia going to? She going to start hanging out with Sami Callihan, or because if you look at Eddie Edwards, he's starting to go a little bit darker. He's got more dark outfits and stuff like that. And
But I mean, at the same time, that's his wife. At least I don't know if it's in real life, but at least in the wrestling world. So
No, it is his real wife.
Oh, it is. Okay.
Yeah.
But at the same time, storyline wise, it would be really cool if she would go towards Sammy, and there will be more of an altercation between them as well.
Mm.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll see. And then actually we were back at the command center, Matthews and Callis at the command center. We were talking about that we weren't going to see Callis at the command center.
But yeah, totally.
No problem with that at all.
No problem. Yeah. So, and the thing is, I don't know, if, like, people might not even care, but I think it just does. It gives a good touch to that.
I agree. Yeah, they hype the show Under Pressure. A little bit. What's going to happen there? We have Cult of Lee taking on LAX. What do you think about this?
I mean, as I always say, I'm not a fan of Cult of Lee, and I really like LAX. But in this match, wow! I mean, Trevor performed surprisingly good, and he went for more like of a hard-hitting style, and at the same time quite fast-paced at some points. And I think they really had a good teamwork between the Cult of Lee and LAX. I think they wrestled really, really well.
Yeah,
surprised, really.
Yeah, no, I agree. They did perform very well. Of course, Cult of Lee ended up winning with a roll-up and the pulling of the tights. So LAX continue their losing streak.
Yeah,
but we'll see what happens, because more stuff happens with LAX at the end of the show here, or towards the end of the show. We had a promo from Jimmy Jacob, who says people don't understand him, says, Moose is the bad guy. He's not the bad guy. Moose is the bad guy.
And he wants, like, Congo Kong to break Moose into pieces and whatnot, so that'll be interesting to see. But at the same time, I don't know. I mean, Congo, sure, he's a great wrestler, and he can, he has a lot of power and strength. But Moose, can you really touch Moose? That's the question.
That is a good question. That is a good question, and we were talking about that last week. Where is this leading? If they're billing Moose as Mr. Impact Wrestling, and they're building Congo Kong as some kind of monster, who can really lose from this exchange?
Absolutely, yeah.
And we do get the answer to that at the end. Well, your favorite duo, KM and Falaba, hanging in the back.
These guys, wow, they're really funny. I mean, we have Falaba, we have Mr. KM, and they think they're so cool and whatnot, and they meet Grado and his girlfriend.
There's Katrina.
Yeah, and like KM is like so surprised how Grado got hurt here and there, and he's like, well, if Grado can get that, what can you get, Falaba? You want to get like 10 times better and whatnot.
Well, did you like Falaba's pickup line?
Oh yeah, Falaba's ba. Fala.
Oh, it was good.
And like Grado was on his cheat day for the 100th time.
I know, it's always cheat day.
This was
fun.
An apple. Oh, it's the cheat day. Oh.
Yeah, this was fun stuff. This was absolutely fun stuff.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, and then we actually went to the GWN moment of the week. This is long. I mean, this is really a long story, because we started with we had Mr. Anderson versus James Storm, the Cowboy James Storm. This is during the time that Mr. Anderson was in a faction called Aces and Eights, which was kind of like a biker gang faction. That's why they had that kind of like vests on and stuff like that. From the beginning, they were masked. But then they all got unmasked and stuff like that, and that's, Mr. Anderson joined them afterwards. He wasn't part of the group first. So they were kind of like a cool group. A lot of people liked them and stuff like that. And then, they had like a feud with Hulk Hogan, and that's where the whole Hulk Hogan bit came in, because this was I think they were preparing for what is called Lethal Lockdown, and Lethal Lockdown was a show where every single match is in a steel cage.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Anyway, so so what with the whole Aces and Eights thing. They were supposed to face each other. The groups were supposed to, Team TNA and Team Aces and Aces were supposed to face each other in the cage. And whoever won this match would get the man advantage, which means that they'll always have one guy more in the ring at a time.
Oh, okay.
So anyway, Mr. Anderson won, and then we had like a whole thing with Jeff Hardy, who was a champ at the time, and Bully Ray, who were going to face each other at least a lockdown for the World Heavyweight Championship. And Hulk Hogan came out, and well, what happened? I mean, it wasn't much. It was just a talk and then fights and stuff like that. But what happens in the end is actually like Bully Ray, who was the challenger, does win the World Heavyweight Championship because he is actually the leader of Aces and Eights.
Oh,
that's the big reveal. And that was a really long segment, though. That felt like forever, and I don't know if they did it just because they wanted to have. I don't know if they wanted to just show Hulk Hogan.
Maybe, because like as you say, it was a long segment, and it's an old match and whatnot. So most people, like veterans like you, have most probably seen it. So
I did see it.
So yeah, it was what it was. Yeah.
So, yeah. Then we had an interview with Madison Rayne, and Tessa Blanchard interrupts. They talk a little bit about, that they're going to face each other, they're going to fight, and they're going to fight at under pressure.
But do you prefer them talking outside the ring or in the ring?
Actually, I think it's more real if it's outside the ring, in the back. Because this whole thing, like, I'm going to call you to the ring and I'm going to yell at you in front of everybody. It's like, well, who does that? Nobody does that.
Nobody. That's true, yeah. Because I can't decide if I like it or not. I don't know. It pisses me off.
I think it all depends on the situation and what you're doing,
At the same time, yeah. Because, I mean, interview after interview, and they all say, I'm going to destroy the other guy, and the other guy says, I'm going to destroy you. And I don't know if it's really, maybe people need to do better interviews.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I like it in the backstage more. And then we had an interview with Z&E. They get interrupted by Steiner and Drake, and then Z&E leave, and Steiner and Drake start fighting with each other, or they kind of start arguing about who is the loser.
There you have wrestling in a nutshell. Yeah. Yeah, so that's that, and we move on to, what was it, next match, was it?
Yeah, the next match is, well, actually we didn't go, is LAX in the clubhouse. No, actually it wasn't. It's X Division title match, Phantasma versus Matt Sydal. How did you like this match?
I think we had a great match. Like I always say, most of the time that's how it is. It was a good back and forth, and they were on the same level, and there were some great plot twists, and they worked well together. And Sydal really showed his truly powers. He really showed what he goes for, and that's what I really liked about this match.
Yeah, no, this was a really good match, good back and forth. I think it was played into the strengths of both wrestlers, actually. I think both Phantasma and Matt Sydal, did their very, very, very best.
Absolutely, yeah.
But in the end, Matt Sydal wins clean with his pump handle pin that he does now. That's his new thing.
Yeah, but I mean, he deserves it, because like I said, he really showed his true powers. Because Sydal has always been good and bad, and he's medium, okay-ish. But now he's really showing his powers, and he's showing that I'm a good wrestler, man. Don't think I'm shit. Yeah, maybe something.
He's telling you.
Yeah, we called each other. Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, Matt Sydal wins. We'll see who is next in line. Next division.
Absolutely. Boom.
Be interesting to see. Then we had LAX in the clubhouse.
Yeah. And this is the stuff I like. These segments with the LAX clubhouse. You're gold. We have like the big boss. What's his name?
That was Kingston, Eddie Kingston. I don't know if you remember him. He was in the DCC for a while with James Storm and Bram. Do you remember when they came out with like white masks?
Jeez, it does ring a bell. Holy snap, Snoop does. Yeah, but yeah, because that was as I was watching like the first times, right? Like in the beginning, it must have been.
Yeah. Well, anyway, the thing is that because I think I said that we were talking about that Eddie Kingston had left when he left, because I think the last time we saw him was in some kind of gauntlet match or something like that. Mario Baccara was in it and stuff like that. There was a lot of people in it, and Dick Justice was there. But I mean, the fun thing is that Eddie Kingston's a really good wrestler, and I think he really deserves to be there in Impact more than in like the WWE. And he's been in ROH and stuff like that as well. But I think he's going to do really well here, and I think hooking him up with LAX is excellent. He comes out and he says that he knows exactly. He knows what has happened to Conan. He knows, everything about Homicide, and now they're going to take it back. So it looks like I'm thinking we're looking at maybe like an LAX turn or something like that, or that they're going to be more vicious or something.
Yeah, because the thing is, they're saying like everything is all good. They just need to LAX just needs to win matches instead of losing them, and then it will be all good. So no, and Conan. Is he alive?
Oh yeah, I think he had surgery, and I think that's why he's gone.
Oh okay.
Then we had a pretty good Austin Aries vignette from Under Pressure for the Under Pressure promo, and then we had Josh Matthews, and Don Callis talk about the mystery attacker. That there were no updates. That was like the big news.
Yeah, but we never really found out who it was, right?
No, they just said like that we have news on the mystery attacker. We have no updates. That was like the news, that they didn't know anything.
Great news. Yeah, that's exactly what we want to know. Yeah. And then we had wasn't it? It was like confirmed a new wrestler, right? A new Impact wrestler.
Yes.
Stone?
No.
Stone?
Oh yeah, Stone Rockwell is going to be at the tapings. The adventure guy.
Yeah,
Did anyone say adventure?
This safari guy.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if he's going to be a permanent member of the on the roster, or if he's just going to be there. But I mean, it'd be interesting to see. But they did announce a new signing, a UK wrestler named, I think, like Handley or something like that. A lot of people were excited about that anyway. So, and he even wrote a song about it. But I'll have to post that.
Damn. Okay. Wow. So yeah, that'll be interesting. We'll see some fresh people, something new, something now for summer.
Yeah.
And I think, was it Zero Fear? Because it's not under pressure.
No, well, no, because there's going to be a one night only called Zero Fear.
Okay.
Yeah. And then we had Desmond Xavier versus P.D. Williams. This was they gave these guys a long time.
Yeah.
To wrestle, and I think it went well. I mean, I think they gelled really well. They worked really well together. There was a lot of hard hitting moves. It was fast paced. It was excellent.
They were on the same level.
They were on the same level. And they were the prize that they won was to face Brian Cage, and I don't know if that's a kind of prize, but
yeah, we haven't really seen so much from Brian Cage.
Well, I mean, we didn't. He wasn't. They didn't show anything from him this week, but he's still doing his Brian Cage World Tour or whatever it is.
Yeah, a little interesting to see if they can match someone with Brian Cage. That would be really interesting.
Yeah.
We would just wait.
But Desmond Xavier wins, and he's going to face Brian Cage. So we'll see.
But yeah, I don't know. Desmond, Brian Cage,
I think they'll tear the house up.
Yeah. Definitely. It'll be interesting. I ain't gonna say anything. We'll see.
And then we had a little, kind of like a vignette from last week, but at the same time, like a new twist of everything. As we saw the funeral of Rosemary, but what else happened?
Well, then wait. Wait, you mean the funeral? Oh yeah, the funeral from last week.
Yeah, and then but then what happened after that? What happened to Allie?
Was there Allie?
Yeah, Allie was there. She was turning into Rosemary.
Wait, that was you have to explain. Hold on.
Well, at the end of the segment, after the funeral of Rosemary, we get to see Allie dressed up in Rosemary's outfit and with Rosemary's makeup. Don't you remember that?
Oh. Wait. No, because the thing is, I wrote Rosemary here, so it's just that.
No, it was Allie Mae. Allie.
Yeah. That was. I'm sorry. Yeah, that makes sense. You know what? So yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
but she
under pressure.
Clothes,
what?
She had her clothes. You know, it looked like okay.
Yeah. Anyway, and under pressure, we're going to see Sue Young versus Allie. Yes. And then we came to the main event: Moose versus Congo Kong without Jimmy Jacobs, and that seemed to be Moose's weak point, or Congo Kong's weak point. No Jimmy Jacobs.
Yeah, no Jimmy Jacobs, no extra help, no nothing. I don't know. The thing is, Congo, like I said before, Congo is good, Moose is good, but Congo, I don't think he can take Moose down. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Moose, in this match, Moose, I think even though, Congo had some, some point where he took down Moose and whatnot, I still think Moose is stronger, has more strength. And I don't know. It feels just like Moose has more experience than Congo, which he most probably has, and I can just see that. I don't know.
That is true. But anyway, I thought that this was a fairly decent match. Moose hit the spear on Congo Kong and won, which I was surprised at. I thought it was going to be that they were going to show that Jimmy Jacobs was taken out in the back, and then Congo Kong was going to run and get disqualified.
Like that. Oh, that's okay. No, yeah. Moose won finally.
Yeah. Well, that was it for the show. That was kind of it. You got to see, after Moose had won, you got to see Jimmy Jacobs laid out in the back, and that is kind of where it ended. So the question is, do we get to see the mystery attacker today?
That is the question. And what do you think? Do you think it's the wrestler that we have in Impact right now, or we're gonna have someone new?
I would like it to be someone new. I don't know about Hall. There's a bunch of nature motif and antlers and horns and stuff like that in the whole symbol. There's a lot of symbolism there, but I wouldn't know what that would be or what that would be related to. I still kind of think that it's going to be Johnny Impact coming back, but kind of in a new style, and that this is this kind of thing. So he'd be a bad guy, but I don't know.
That would be an interesting approach of it, actually. Wow, good thinking there. Wow, okay.
So what would you rate this show?
I mean, we had some good matches. I can't really blame the episode. At the same time, we had that recap, Anderson, James Storm, a little bit too long, but really C+.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. C+ is a good call. Good call.
And it doesn't mean that the show was bad at all, but there were just some points that just took it down a bit. That was it. I mean, the match was still good. So
yeah. Well, Nick, that was another show in the bag. Next week we thought try to do it on time.
Yeah.
Well, you can give us a like and a follow on Instagram, YouTube, SoundCloud, Stitcher Radio, but you can also find us on sltdwrestling.com, our new home. go ahead and give them a like and give them a follow. There's a lot of good stuff happening there.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Wow.
So, for Nikki Anderson, my name is Chris Mary Hultman, and we will see you next week for the Wrestling Guild.
Boom.
Okay.